Hello, everyone. It'll load up here in a second. We're going to be doing an update on the Minecraft. Oh, it stopped. Hello? No? Test? There we go. All right. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of a update on the Minecraft. Uh, I believe I went through and showed you guys everything. Yeah, I got it all ready. It's just got to be uploaded. I wanted to go ahead and update you on some of the behind the scenes stuff here with this, so you guys know that, partially so you guys know that I'm not feeding you out of line, especially those who have come here more recently. Actually, got a little bit more views on this. I almost got as many views on this as I do on Call of Duty, which is pretty interesting. But I'm not really that surprised. Oh, the nice stuff it's a little messed up. I'll fix it next time. Also, forgive the rather haggard looking uh, state of me. You'll be watching me grow out my beard again over the course of this Minecraft video. So it doesn't take long for me to get a full beard rocking. So the plan here, the reason I wanted to do an update is because there's going to be an awful lot of stuff that's going to change before the next video. Now, what those changes are going to be, we obviously know that we have a industrial fermenter. We went over the industrial squeezer. We've gone over the refinery. I'm making biodiesel over here, and it's being stored in this tank. So here's my plan. I'm going to get rid of almost all of this. If I can use garden cloches to grow hemp, I got to make sure that I can. I believe I can. I don't think that there's an issue with that. So if that's the case, I'm going to get rid of a whole heck of a lot of this and probably grow food and stuff in here instead. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing with the squeezer that I did up here with the fermenter, where it'll just constantly be fed by hemp seeds. See, the problem that I have is that hemp creates both fiber and seeds, and I only want the seeds going into the squeezer, or into, yeah, the squeezer. I am aware that there is conveyor belt stuff. Wait. Where's my book? I think my book might be in here, actually. No, it's back over there. We'll go over there. So the game plan is it's the nighttime, and I didn't realize that. Sir, sir, I just realized that I had the volume off on the game as well. Please leave. Thank you. We'll sleep real quick. Uh, the game plan here that I've changed it up a little bit. Not a lot. Let's go ahead and turn the sound back on so you guys aren't just listening to me talking and nothing else. Uh, so, the game plan here is that that's a little loud. All right, let's turn it back down just a hair, shall we? Let's just fix that a little bit. We'll bring this back down to like 27. Okay, so as you can see, I've made this platform. This is going to be all cleaned up and look a little bit nicer. My game plan here is to actually go ahead. I should go over here and get a nice vantage point. Is it gonna despawn if I go all the way up to the peak over here? Yeah, it is. Okay, so the game plan here is that I'm going to have the processing for all of the goods, so all of the biodiesel, all of that kind of stuff. It's going to run into the center here, where we're going to have tanks where I can store that stuff. Most likely in the end, I will also have tanks for both uh, ethanol and seed oil. Then I'm going to, so that I can just feed those straight into the refinery and have the refinery make it. Then I'm going to have the actual, this is where I'm not fully sure of what I'm going to do here. I'm obviously going to have the diesel generator either here or up here. And what that's going to allow me to do is actually feed the diesel generator, unlike my original plan, which was to run the diesel generator straight into the digital miner, which, if you remember, is underneath here, underneath this thing, this little tower thing that I made. I think I'm going to actually go for integrating it into the system. And the reason I was thinking about that is because energy cubes aren't actually that bad to make. These. So, what I could do is I could set up the diesel generator to run into all of the energy cubes that I have. When you look at the basic energy cube, say you got this stuff. It's all super accessible. The hardest thing in here is the steel casing. Now, basic is not going to work for me. It's not. It doesn't have enough energy. Also, it's just gold and redstone for the energy tablets. Very, very easy to make. But the cool thing is when you're increasing to the advanced, which is what I made over here, which I believe I showed in the videos, uh, made this one. The advanced is actually easy as well. You see? Because you're using a basic energy cube as the core. That's the cool thing. And then, of course, you go to the elite, which is over here, and the elite actually does require some things that would be a little bit more difficult to get, but it's still not that bad. It's just diamond on top of infused alloy. So it's really not that hard of a jump to make with the stuff that I can obtain right now while I'm having power issues. So my plan here is to have, I don't know, what is this, 6.4? So uh 5, maybe 6 of these, because I don't believe it goes above that. I think it goes to creative. Oh, ultimate. Oh, there's another level of it. Oh, with atomic alloys. Well, I can do that, but to be honest, it's not a bad idea, actually. I would need to use all of the power out of the advanced or the elite energy cube once I upgraded. Hmm. Well, either way, because usually what you would do in this build is, I believe, I don't actually think that the nuclear reactor is in here. Well, there is. There is the reactors. I could build a reactor, but I kind of don't want to. I kind of want to build the rest of this instead, because to be perfectly honest, the reactors are really, really cool. They are, but they're almost kind of game breaking. Like, yeah, you need to go ahead and, feed in and take out the radioactive materials and all that kind of stuff. And they are really cool. Maybe at some point in this playthrough I'll do it. But I really like going ahead and having a little bit more of a hands on type of management system to my stuff. I'm sure you guys can tell that already because what I do, all of this stuff. Look at this. I made a gigantic field of hemp farms, or of hemp, and I kind of like a little bit more of a hands-on type of thing. So I like the idea that I'm just generating my fuel uh, from growing it out of what would otherwise be a waste crop for me because I don't need string or wool really anymore for the most part. So anywho, that's the plan. I'm gonna go probably do 5, maybe 6, maybe even more energy cubes because I don't necessarily need the ultimate energy cube. I could go ahead and have like a bunch of elite energy cubes all linked together, which is also an option. It's totally an option. And then I will run all of this stuff. The last thing I wanted to tell you is that I might take the digital miner out from under there and bring it over and set it up under here. Possibly. Because the game plan here, I'm going to fly way up in the air, is that my main setup is going to be in a giant L. See? This big L shape? That's what I'm going to be doing, is I want my factory to be this big L shape. And then once I start doing things like automation and I start, making things that make things for me and all of that kind of stuff, maybe I could use up some more of this area out here. that I overestimated the amount of seeds that I was going to need. So hopefully I can get the hemp running in the cloche. If I can't, then I will actually probably only half the size of this. But that still gives me a big, huge area over there to be continuously growing hemp for the seeds. Then, actually, no, that's it. I still want to go ahead and get solar panels, but they are very intensive in their requirements. The reason is because you always want a mixture, especially when you're planning on going for biodiesel. This is something I learned back on Sean VR's server. Is that yes, the diesel generator makes an absolutely metric ton of energy, but you don't really want to be using it all the time. You don't want to be setting it up to run constantly nonstop. What happened with us on that server was that by the time I had finished all of this kind of stuff, we had already had a nuclear reactor and we didn't really need it. You know, I wanted to mess around with all of this because I wanted to mess around with it. That was the whole reason I made it. And I just made one big, huge, multi level facility uh, that allowed me to do that. So I want to go this route instead and then go nuclear later if I really feel like it. Because, like I said, the nuclear reactor mods in this game, they are cool. There's a lot of neat stuff going on in them. But I want I want to be, going through and be like, okay, I'm starting to run low on, refined goods. What do I need? Oh, I need some ethanol. Turn on all this stuff for the ethanol, production. I want to ramp up my generation of seeds, all this kind of stuff. I want to do that because that's fun for me. But probably the diesel generator here. So let's do a once over. We'll just come right up here to talk about it. Uh, Obviously, the generation of fuel is done. It is right here. We have biodiesel. We're probably going to have two or three more, probably three more tanks that I will put right here. I'll either fill them with just regular biodiesel or I will fill them with, one more of them with biodiesel and then one ethanol and one seed oil. Then I'm going to run. Uh, I keep wanting to put that diesel generator up here. But I could probably put it right here too. Hmm. There's lots of decisions to be made. You see where my thought process is going. I want this to end up looking like an extension of this whole facility so that the whole thing kind of looks like this big L shaped industrial factory. Uh, Not necessarily with the same build type as this one. I do like the way this looks with the blossom wood and the all the stuff on top, and then I'll have solar panels up here. I like the way this looks a lot. It's very cool. But I have also learned through years and years and years of playing Minecraft that when you use the same exact kind of like build style for an entire build, it actually looks even less realistic. Because when you think about industrial settings, you're going to have them using whatever's the most efficient stuff. So they'll have some big fancy looking area, and then attached to it will be some kind of, corrugated steel section, that kind of a thing, or like, something built out of, very cheap materials to house a lot of the rest of it. And cheap materials in Minecraft, well, you're obviously talking about cobblestone. You're talking about deep slate in this specific mod pack, all that kind of jazz. So, yep, that's the plan. That is the plan. We're pretty much done with mineral, to be perfectly honest. I was really excited about getting into this, but I don't think we actually need anything from mineral. I like the look of the trees, so I'm going to keep them around. Uh, Whether or not I get into magic, that is something that I have no idea. Unfortunately, create really I do want to reset this. I do. I want to bring this over. Maybe I could put that in over there. Put a little. Well, that wouldn't make sense because most of my like actual work is done right here. Hmm. There's a lot more planning to go in here because this is a very unique structure. It's not going to be connected very easily to everything else. I guess I could just make an extension like off the back here and put like the create stuff over here because I really mainly use it for, it's for this flattening stuff. And also eventually I probably will want uh, a metal rolling, a set of rollers that run off of water power, all of that kind of stuff, because it is very useful. I love coming over here and just throwing some stuff on there, and then it does all the pounding for me instead of using up a bunch of industrial hammers. So, if you have any recommendations, let me know. If you've seen something and you're like, dude, you should totally do this, let me know in the comment section below, and I will take that into consideration. Just remember that a lot of these videos I record in blocks, so if I don't do something that you said, it's not necessarily because I thought it was a bad idea. It's because I probably already moved on from that. But tell me anyway, because if it's a good idea and I like it, I'm going to be like, dude, and then I'll go do it anyway. I'll go tear something down and rebuild it because I like your idea more. I've done that 1,000 times in Minecraft. I've done it in servers. There's people like Hotaru and stuff who would know immediately that I would be happy to do that. In Sean VR's server, we went ahead and like he took it on to just go ahead and just completely terraform essentially an entire mountain. Like he just set up, just started one day. He's like, we need more room, and just started taking this mountain down. And it was crazy. He ended up getting a really good advice from the other person who was playing with us, Rose Sky, and ended up being able to use quarries to take out these sections. I think it was quarries to take out whole entire sections of it. But that was after we had done a lot of handwork doing that kind of stuff. And this is what I love about Minecraft is building these huge things, and you come by, you build a little bit, just like the last few videos. I came into the video to make the video, and all I was doing was I was just bumbling through watching a video and learning how to do something while creating the something, and this is very pleasing to me. This is why I still to this day play Minecraft, is because this whole process right here of generating biodiesel fuel from the limited knowledge that I had, I knew I could get seeds, and I knew seeds were going to give me lots of oil. And then I had to learn about how the ethanol works with the fermenter. And then, I had to learn about the crusher because I needed the nitrate dust to use as the catalyst. I love this whole process. It took multiple days. It looks like just 3 videos in a row to you, but it took days to go ahead and figure all this stuff out and get it rolling. And so now I have biodiesel. The next step is, of course, the diesel generator, and then we're going to be rolling in the energy. I need to go ahead and solve, so don't be surprised if next time you watch the video and I have a whole bunch of these, because that's what I'm going to be working on in the interim. I think I have 2, including this one, I think 3 videos to upload. And during the interim, while those upload, because I usually set them to go, like, I think it's like every 4 or 5 days, usually. Sometimes 3. I don't really stick to a specific schedule, because I know people come by and they'll watch whenever they want. It's not a matter of, I'm going to bring it out every Tuesday so you can come by and watch every Tuesday. I don't want to ostracize anybody on their schedules. You can come by and watch my content whenever the heck you feel like. So 6, probably 5, maybe 6. Yeah, 5 more of these advanced energy cubes. And then we can go ahead and really just start piping the big energy from the diesel generator into these energy cubes to fill them all up. And then we'll have I'll be able to take this stuff all back over here, put them all up here, and we'll have all of this wind power coming in on top of this to go ahead and feed trickled energy. Like I said, it's very important when you're doing this to utilize both the green energy, not just because it's green energy and it's like good for the environment, because that doesn't matter in Minecraft. It's because you want that constant trickle of energy generation along with your big energy generator, because hundreds of times I'll be down there and I'll be making steel. Like that's what I was working on when I started this video. Was I was working on making steel, which I was doing right down here. And you'll be running engines, powered stuff. You don't need to have that causing a drain on your overall system, because you can just have some wind turbines. And like you saw in the early videos, you can use industrial engineering for that with the big, huge windmills that it has if you want to do that. It's very possible that the diesel generator won't generate just enough, enough power for my all of my needs, and that's when I'm going to start looking into things like chunk loaders, and then possibly going up to like one of these super high areas and setting up a whole entire industrial wind farm, or relocating all of my wind power into a super high up area so that it's hyper efficient, and then make all of the conduits to come down all the way over and feed into my system. You see? I just don't need that yet. I am that type of player when it comes to Minecraft, but I don't need it yet. I like to deal with problems as they arise. So, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Share me with your friends. We're still drilling. We're still drilling right along on the old Valhelsia 5 mod pack. Thanks for coming by. Peace. I'll see you on the next one.